Los Angeles now has a subway. The transit picture in Los Angeles is growing more promising every day. And commuter ridership is improving. And still, what may be the brightest answer to the transportation woes of Los Angeles isn't even on the drawing board yet. Imagine a transit system in Los Angeles that's economical, fast, clean, and efficient. One that would alleviate a lot of traffic congestion throughout the San Fernando Valley and downtown Los Angeles. One of the most traveled highways in the United States is the Ventura Freeway. It's also one of the most congested thoroughfares. We desperately need an alternative to driving to work and play, especially since most of the cars on the freeway are single-passenger vehicles. The ideal mode of transportation for Los Angeles is a monorail, but not just any monorail. Monorails have been suggested for the center median of some freeways, but such construction on our already congested freeways would take 5 to 6 years to complete. Besides, would you want to be standing on a platform on a hot summer day, waiting to get to work with the noise of freeway traffic buzzing in your ear, and the fumes from diesel tractor trailers taking your every breath away? And what about the hot rod motorists who would try to race the monorail down the freeway? How would you like to see one of those guys coming in your rear view mirror? And what of the distractions motorists and tourists will face as the shiny bullet-like rail cars stream past traffic? Leave the freeways for the cars and the trucks. Where do we put this monorail? In the most conspicuous yet out-of-the-way place. One just sitting there waiting for us to use. The Los Angeles River. As you can see on this map, the river flows through all of the major areas in the San Fernando Valley. The line would serve students at Pierce and Valley College and many of the large community shopping malls and neighborhood businesses. A transit line on the river would take much of the traffic off the 101, the 118, and the 5 freeways. The monorail would serve the entire San Fernando Valley as well as Burbank, Glendale, Los Feliz, and downtown Los Angeles. The riverbed is a dry creek about 90% of the year. Because of the physical location of the monorail, the river could still flow at its highest level without obstructing monorail traffic. Stations could be conveniently located at strategic points along the banks of the river. Park and ride programs with ample parking for commuters would be provided at the riverbanks. According to the LA Tourist Information Bureau, some 60 million tourists flock to Los Angeles annually and utilize our freeway system. If we had some alternative to automotive transportation, these visitors would take advantage of it. Tourists would relish a ride on the modern monorail to get to Universal Studios and Dodger Stadium. Baseball fans could ride in air-conditioned trams that would drop them at the doorstep of the ballpark and take them home just as swiftly. Balboa, Reseda, Chatsworth, and Griffith Parks all border the LA River. Oddly enough, the modern monorail would pass right by Traveltown in Griffith Park, where the trains of the past are on display. The LA Zoo also would be a monorail ride away to many of the surrounding communities and schools. Many students would take the monorail to school. These railways have operated successfully since 1964 in Japan. It was also in '64 that Americans had the opportunity to ride on a monorail at the New York World's Fair. There, ultramodern trams traveled high above the roadways on a suspended railway, one in which the car hangs from the beam above. The other more conventional railway is the straddled type, in which the car rides above the track. Both have been proven to be safe and equally efficient. Although many think of the monorail as a theme park ride, the people at Disneyland tend to regard it as the transportation of the future. Disney's monorail was inaugurated in 1952 and has since held a rather impressive track record, no pun intended. With nearly 2.5 miles of track at Disneyland, the tram could reach speeds of up to 50 miles per hour. Its average speed is about 35 miles an hour, and the cars are designed for amusement rather than commuting, but they still hold 135 people per car, and each train is 4 to 5 cars long. At Disney World in Florida, the monorail's top speed is 70 miles per hour, carries up to 244 passengers per car, and is 6 cars long. Upwards of 150,000 passengers use Disney's monorails daily. The company's statistics claim a 99% reliability factor during the last 45 years. Japan has had several systems in full operation since 1964, with more than 95 miles of rail carrying upwards of 400 million passengers without any fatal accidents in 35 years. Top speed for the Japanese monorail system is 128 miles per hour, and some of the lines feature unmanned operation. The entire system is run like a big toy train set from a command center. Now let's take a look at Seattle's monorail ride. Some parts of the LA aqueduct no longer have a concrete bottom. Some parts of the river never had a cement base because it actually was a river back in the gold rush days. These pylons can still be constructed in these areas without disruption to the existing riverbed. It appears that new monorail systems are being built today than any other type of fixed guideway transit systems at half the cost of the conventional heavy transit. There is little or no interference with existing road traffic during construction. A monorail could easily be made accessible to link to bus service and light rail connections throughout the Southland. Futuristic renderings of cities usually show a monorail in there somewhere. Well then, why are we waiting? The future is now. We need a modern transportation system today. The monorail is the best cost-effective way to go, and the Los Angeles River is waiting for us to utilize it. We could have a monorail up and running in less than 5 years, but we have to start today.